So this is what I've got. I'm also using my microphone this morning. I hope it's not too loud in the video, but we'll see, because I kind of wanted to leave the camera set up and kind of show you what I had. All right. So as you can see, when I cut this gap open, it opened up and it went back towards the fender. It relaxed, and that's what we want. Everything looks good. It's got one little spot right there that, see how easy it pushes over. It pushes over, but it don't push over real easy. What I'll do is, since the gap opened up, I'll tack it everywhere that is what I would say feasible, or you can tack that gap and weld it up, no problem. And I might try it and see if it's worth the time. If not, I'll cut me a piece of welding rod and lay it on the back side, because the way this grill is made, you'll never be able to tell. And I mean, it can all be ground down. Let's see. Let me go get a screwdriver. I don't know what the actual range of this microphone is, but right now I'm probably 40 feet away through 3 metal walls over here to grab a screwdriver. We have put all of our regular screwdrivers in a box, because we use the grip edge. The grip edge that's got all your changeable bits in it. So that's what we use now, instead of an actual regular screwdriver. The grip edge really does work good. I think we're ready for actual welding. All right. So I chose to weld it up, and instead of adding a welding rod like to the back side, that's what I had initially said I was going to do. But when I got to welding, because I had to tack everything, and for anybody that's ever done this type of work, if you've got a gap, now if it's too big, it's not going to be feasible to even mess with, but the if you can come in and like tack one side, tack, and it build a bridge to the other side, 3 little tacks, that ain't no big deal, because when you go back through after you've got it tacked, you can always, it'll melt in. The back side is black from the primer, but I'm getting ready to grind this down, and once the grill and all comes back off, I'll wire brush it on the back side and make it look nice. Right here I tacked it in the corner. I was going to try to weld up the little opening, but it's right up against the fender and it's just going to burn the primer. So I'll bring you back once I grind it, because I know grinding's going to be loud. This is what I'm going to use. Where's it at? My normal 3M 3/8 wide grinding stones. They're 3-inch. They cut probably about a 24 grit's, what I'm guessing, on an old handy dandy Dynabrade that I bought off of eBay. Let's see, 2015. So 10 years. I forget what I paid for it. I got 2 of them. One of them I won on an auction, and the other one I won, seems like I might have made the guy an offer. I forget. But anyway, I've had, the other one is right here. So 2015, 10 years. And this one here, the safety lock is broke. And so I just tape it and plug it in and let it go. And then you've got a valve at the bottom that you can turn it up or down at whatever speed you want. Me and Dylan's the only ones that use it, and we know that it's ready to run wide open when you put the air in it. But if somebody else was going to use it, I'd let them use one with a safety lock, unless they, fully understood that that one there, I think it's like a 0.7 horsepower. So it's got a lot of grunt power, but being used for 10 years, it's wore down. Well, there you have it. All welded back up, ground down. Kind of looks a little wonky because the disc has grabbed the body filler differently. Once the primer and everything is put back, it will look great. I'm gonna spray a little red oxide primer on it just to protect it. I'll be right there. You go. A little red oxide primer just to protect the bare metal. Looks pretty good. Now I need to pull it back off. She's supposed to come by Monday and give me the go-ahead on the brake pedal rod. Let's see. It'll be welded right there. It's tacked. And then welded inside. See where I got it tacked. But I may call it a day on this one. I don't know. It's just according. Got a lot to do, but I'd really I'd like to take this front end off and get the engine and transmission out. Maybe get it set back inside. We'll see. Well, the owner, she came by and she approved the brake pedal. And Saturday, I finished up on my grill, which is over there. Got a mess of bubble wrap where I got a bunch of parts in. Here's the engine transmission. And we'll get this taken out. And if I'm not mistaken, the fenders have become floppy. I think I might take the fenders off of it too. Get the engine transmission in, get the carburetor and all set on it, and see where the actual throttle linkage goes through, because I'm not really sure. It's been so long. Let's get started. Well, it's in. The engine mount bolts that I stuck in it are not the ones that came out, but I grabbed just some long bolts to slide through. That was kind of a lot of work. I'll tell you why. I didn't realize, you know, when this truck came here, it had the engine and all in it, just like what you see now. But I had taken the cab off, and then I pulled the engine off later. So when I went in, let me get you turned around here. When I went in and cut the pan underneath, see right there, and lowered it down some, so that she could have a console. That way there wouldn't be, I forget exactly how it was made. It seemed like it come up high inside, but anyway, I cut and lowered it so that she could run a console. And this is the first time that the engine has been back in it since. What I wanted to do was get the engine and transmission back in it. And now I got to go up here and get the carburetor and see where the throttle linkage is going to come through for the inside. But I mean, I can already tell that hole on the inside will have to be welded up. That one right there. So I'm not so sure exactly how that's going to work. It came with a low-car cable and stuff. We'll just have to get it fit. But anyway, underneath the transmission cross member underneath I had to take the brace off of it, the bracket, the rubber mount, to get it to slide back enough, because it's tight in there. It looks like to me that we'll have to drop the transmission mount and put the rubber mount, the transmission cross member, drop it down, put the transmission mount and then put the cross member back up against it. Undoubtedly, that's the way they had it. Because like I said, I pulled it off the frame whenever the cab and stuff was off. So I didn't pay no attention to how they had it set up, but it's pretty tight in there. But anyway, it's back in. So I'll go find that carburetor and see what we got going on. Let me get you back in here and show you what we've got. So I went through the stuff, got the carburetor and all back on, found the cables, found the gas pedal or accelerator pedal. It's made to mount, this part right here mounts to the firewall. That goes through a hole in the firewall. When this is mounted stationary, then it's the pedal that moves. It moves the rod up and down. On the outside of it, it mounts through like that. You've got a cable that drops down, which is this cable right here, with that clevis comes down, and you can have a short throw or a longer throw, either one. Well, you can see how my floor is. My floor, I'm gonna take this piece right here off, or this whole thing, and just so that I can lay the pedal itself up here. I need a hole to go through, but as you can see, my floor kind of ramps up a little bit. So that means I'm gonna have to do some fabricating. From what I see right here, you know, it goes from flat. Let's see if I can show you with a pencil. It goes from flat across here to it starts getting a gap. I'm thinking I need to cut along here and make it flat. Make it go on across. That don't really sound feasible. It looks like to me that in order to do that and be able to do a actual decent job, I need to pull the engine transmission back out, do the fabricating, find the location of where the hole is at or needs to be for this to go through, and then put the transmission and the engine back in to hook up the cable. Just for mock-up purposes. That's a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. But that's what I'm looking at right now. But for right now, I'm gonna get this back off and lay it on the floor and see what it looks like. All right, so I got that off. That's what I was talking about doing right there, is kind of getting an idea. I mean, I could make a flat spot right in here for that bracket to mount. But the thing of it is, you know, when it mounts, it's going to stick up like that. When you accelerate, it's going to probably, I'm just guessing, it's probably going to hit right here before it pulls wide open. You know, so it's got a great slope on it, but that's what I'm thinking. Probably somewhere right in there. I'm gonna see if I can put me a piece of tape and hold it in place to kind of see where it fits right with my foot. But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I guess I could pull this pedal back out since I don't have a hole pull this pedal back out, put my back on it, and let that rod go through the brake hole, because that's kind of the same angle playing field, and then that would give me an idea of what I got going on. We'll see. That's the only thing about fabrication, or once you change one thing, it seems like you have to change 5 other things to accommodate the one change. That's why it takes so long to do a custom. But let's just say, for instance, that all the custom work was finished up today. This cab and stuff could come back off, be blasted, put in epoxy, and start body work. Maybe this winter, get the body work done and paint it warm weather and be done. Get you back in here. So the gas pedal is mounted, but as you can see, I don't know, it's not comfortable to operate. How far does it have to stand up? Because, like, let's say you're at idle. When you accelerate, when you push down on the pedal, it pulls down on the cable and opens up the carburetor. But you can see how high it is from the actual floor. Wrong button. Every time I go to use that function, you can see how high it is off the floor. Now, right there it's touching, but my goodness, look at the height of how far back it is. If you cut the floor and recess it, then it's going to touch down here and possibly not open the carburetor all the way. See, here's the rod that goes through the floor, and when you mash down on it, it pulls the cable wherever the end of the cable's at. But I've got an idea. What's your thoughts? Bleep bloop it down in the comments, as old Vice Script says. I got this thing where it can come apart. I didn't know that it would come apart. You can see I had already drilled my hole. But what if I put the mechanism, the pedal, upside down and run the cable in? Because see, it's got a cable. It comes with a 3-foot cable. And the way it's set up is it goes in from the top in the bracket, and when you mash down, it pulls the cable and opens the carburetor. But what if we turn everything upside down and come in from the bottom? Since it's all cable, we got plenty of it. Then when it pulled down, when you mash the accelerator pedal, it would pull this up and it would work the carburetor. What's your thoughts on that? Let's see if that'll work. All right, it's the end of the day here for me. In all honesty, we tried every which way on that pedal. I've got holes that I've got to fix, but I'm not going to fix anything until the new pedal gets here. The owner, she came by. It just wasn't an enjoyable, functional pedal. And the way the angle is on that, I told her, I said, I can cut and try to recess the pedal as far down as I can. But when you do that, it's going to hit the transmission. You see here, as the pedal goes through, it's made to pull the cable without going through the firewall. So it puts it right up on the transmission. So I ordered one that will bolt to the floor, and then it's got like a upper bracket up here that pulls the cable, and it should pull straight through. We may have to go through somewhere right in there, but it'll be a lot more functional, I think. If not, we'll send it back and start over. But I think the one that I got coming will do the trick. Y'all stay tuned. Speedway. All right, we're back on this 59 this morning, and we got a few upgrades. Let me get you out here where you can see. That's the shift indicator. Park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, first. That, I'm gonna put it somewhere up in there. It'll mount somewhere up in there. Probably find center, or at least make sure that it's center over the rear view. We got something else in, new gas pedal or accelerator pedal, however you want to say it. I'm not so sure that it's gonna be exactly what I want it to be either. Looks like to me that it's gonna have to be, still gonna have to have some fabrication, because you know when that mounts, you ain't got a lot of room to operate. So that needs to be cut flat or something. I really don't know right at the moment. I'm going to study on that, see what we can come up with. But I think we'll get started on this up here. Well, we got that fitted. What I done was got my marks, got my center line, got my distance between where the holes need to be drilled. They sent a template to cut out and use, but I just done my measurements because I thought, well, if for some reason we decide to send it back, it will have that piece still on it. The wires are run through, and I'm gonna I'm really not so sure where. Am I gonna run them down this A pillar and under? I don't have the answer for that right now. But anyway, we got this mounted. It fits. I filed it. I used files to finish it out after I drilled the holes. Drilled 2 5/8 holes like it said, and then cut it out with the cutting disc in between the holes. And I left just a little bit of the line, and I filed it until it fit tight. Show you what I got. So got the throttle cable hooked up. Just left the cover off. Just run a small hole through the firewall. Cable actually inserts through here and then hooks up to there, and I got a piece of tape because it don't have the C-clip and all back on, because I've got it on and off so much. But as you can see, it works the carburetor good. The only thing is I messaged her to come by and check things out, because I need to fab this up and get this. It needs to go flat in, and then it's gonna have like a, I guess you could say, kind of like a box or a raised up area. I really don't know right at the moment. I just know, I know what it needs, but I don't know how to explain how I'm gonna fix it, because until I think about it, I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna fix it. The pedal, painted the pedal, finished welding it up, ground it down and cleaned it up, painted it, put it back on. That way when she sat down in here, she could get an idea of how it's going to transfer from like the gas to the brake. It's pretty smooth transition. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows, because once she gives me the thumbs up, I'll fix that floor. But until then, we're kind of stopping, I think, for today. Let me show you what I ended up with. So what I done was cut out the floor. You know, it was ramped down about like a 45. So I cut and put a piece of metal in, and this piece right here was actually part of the 45, and I bent it up. The reason I bent it up was to give her an idea of what it needed, and then she came by and she said, yeah, that's fine. And so I laid a piece of metal in, welded it up, and then I took right here a piece of 1.25 inches by 5 inches and made a band. And when the cab and all comes off, on the back side, this piece of sheet metal goes on in. I'll cut it off and grind it to the edge of that, and then that will you won't be able to see it. Right now that piece of metal stuck on there, you can see it, and then I'll close this up. I'll be able to cut and grind and finish that up. Now let me show you what it looks like with the pedal. So right now, all I have got is my little 1/4 inch self-drilling screws. But when this cab comes off, or probably just take the engine and transmission back out of it next time I work on it, and get in the cradle, you know, where the engine is at, and finish my grinding and closing up. But instead of using those 1/4 inch self-driller screws, probably going to use, I'm thinking maybe nut certs, or I really don't know. I may leave it where, you know, we'll be able to put that on, you know, reach it, and I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, but it'll be some type of bolt that will secure it better, I would say. But you can see what it looks like. It functions good. I mean, it actually works real good. If you had some bolts in it, you know, it would be even tighter. But the thing was making sure that when that went down, it didn't hit the floor. That way you could get it wide open. So I think she'll be happy. And once it's all done inside here, you won't be able to tell. I mean, you won't be able to tell I even fabricated that raised up spot. So until next time, y'all give me a like, a subscribe, a share. I pray that you're putting God first, and may He be glorified through you each and every day among men, because honestly, that's what we're here for. we're not here for YouTube videos. We're just passing through. It's just a small time that we're going to be here. And we're here to glorify Jesus Christ. And that's the only way I can say it. So I'm over and out.